My name is James Holmes, and I work with MAF in South Africa in recruitment, and I also care for our missionaries in the field. Welcome to our next interview for our Round the World event, and today we have landed in Kenya, and we will be talking to Davies from that country. Good day, Davies. Just as a first question, it has been said that MAF is different. Would you agree with the statement? And please tell us what your role is and what was it that first attracted you to serve with MAF?
Well, thank you very much. As you've heard, my name's Davies. I've worked with MAF Kenya for a period of 11 years as an engineer, and still looking forward towards working with MAF for more years to come. Before joining MAF, I worked with a local aviation company. In fact, it's very close to MAF Kenya. I could see how MAF staff behaved, the way they relate, and also hear them fellowship every day. During end of each year, I really admired the way the entire MAF fraternity used to celebrate as a family before end of year. That alone made me feel that I really belonged to that place. I had a friend who used to work with MAF then, and we used to communicate a lot. So he could tell me how MAF really values its staff and their families at large, and this really motivated me to try and be part of the family. In the year 2008, I made my first attempt and applied for a vacancy as an engineer, but unfortunately, I didn't secure a vacancy. So I didn't lose my hope. Later on in the year 2011, there were 3 vacancies for engineers. So I went ahead and applied again, and this time round, I was lucky to secure a vacancy with MAF Kenya.
Thank you, Davies. That's a wonderful story. Really, what would you say are the most exciting aspects of your service in Kenya? And what would you say most challenges and inspires you?
Challenges are part of us, especially in my career. They say that every day is a learning process. So that means that every day one should be prepared to learn something new. You get to learn, and it becomes a challenge, especially when you get to try to do that particular task for the first time on your own. If I may give an example, my biggest challenge, if I remember very well, is when I was working on a Tanzanian Cessna 206. The aircraft was to undergo an avionics upgrade. So that meant that the left and the right hand instrument panels had to be redone. So we got an aluminum metal sheet about 63 thou of an inch thick. There was a bend which had to be made at the bottom of both the aluminum metal sheets. We have a bending equipment in our main workshop for doing such a job. But for you to get the angle correct, you have to approximate where to start the bend. I remember doing the bending 3 different times till I got it right. I really appreciate MAF because they understand and give one an opportunity to get something right. After the 3 attempts, I get it right, but I was never penalized for using or reusing the metal sheet 3 times because the metal sheet is quite expensive on its own. To me, this was the greatest challenge I faced. When it comes to the excitements, I always feel a lot of excitement and satisfaction when I accomplish a task given to me satisfactorily. MAF Kenya has given me an opportunity of traveling in different MAF programs in Africa and Asia to assist in aircraft maintenance. And for sure, I have always found pleasure and fulfillment in doing so, especially after accomplishing all tasks assigned to me as required and in a timely manner. This has also enabled me to meet different people from different backgrounds and really appreciate God for everything. Those are my challenge, the major challenge, and the excitements I can say for now that I've experienced.
Thank you, Davies. That is truly inspiring. Now, based on your experiences and your time with MAF in Kenya, what advice would you give to someone who feels called to serve in a MAF mission?
We have to appreciate the fact that we are different and unique to each other. There are some people whose primary objective is to look for money, and there are others who are driven by a calling. A few years back, a certain MAF pilot really challenged me. We had this long flight, a 5 hours flight from Juba, that is South Sudan, to Nairobi in Kenya, on a Cessna 206. As we were enjoying our flight, I remember asking him about his aviation life. One thing I will never forget is that he told me he does flying as a hobby, no matter what time of the day he does it. He doesn't mind it. So my motivation to young generation who would like to join MAF as an engineer or pilot is to love what you are doing. By doing so, you will never find your career boring or only keep waiting for the payday. Thank you.
Thank you, Davies. And thank you very much for your most inspiring answers to our questions. We've learned a lot from you, and we do feel inspired, and we are so happy to have spent that time with you. It'll be wonderful to see what God has in store for you as you continue with your service in MAF. Thank you all for joining us in Kenya, and we look forward to see you at our next destination. God bless and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.